Welcome to Unstoppable Real Estate Investing Wealth. My name is Billy Alvaro, aka the Unstoppable BA, former billion-dollar mortgage banker, gone bankrupt, turned professional real estate investor. Where each week you'll learn the tools, strategies, systems, and secrets myself and other highly successful real estate investing entrepreneurs use to start, grow, and scale their businesses, creating massive profits, and how you can too. And we'll teach you how to put those profits to work so you no longer have to. Get ready to finally experience financial freedom and generational wealth. Now let's get started. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unstoppable REI Wealth. I'm your host, the Unstoppable BA, Billy Alvaro, and I'm here today with a friend of mine, Matt Hedstrom, and I'm recording from beautiful Puerto Rico, Camwide, Puerto Rico. I'm here for a month. So full disclosure, my video is going to be a little shoddy. My background is going to be beautiful. And I'm here with the handsome Mr. Matt. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
Yeehaw! Loving it, man. I do not get to choose my background like that today. So I got office grid tiles behind me. I had to scrape frost off my window this morning, bro.
Oh, God.
So I'm in the hoodie and freezing my butt off this morning.
Yeah, I am not jealous with the way you look right now with that hoodie on, Matt. I'm outside in a T-shirt, shorts, no shoes, with the beach in the background.
Love it, man. So
listen, I met Matt. I belong to multiple masterminds, and I'm in one called the Multipliers. And Matt and I think I met you 2 years ago. I missed last year because I was here in Puerto Rico. But Matt's, listen, solid dude. This past year, you're up there. We raise a lot of money from the Multipliers to one of your things that you do overseas. Why don't you talk about that real quick of what your give is? Because you're heavily into like helping out.
Yeah, man. No, that I appreciate it. This is something that we raised a lot of money just right there for a trade school it's being built in San Pedro Sula, Honduras, and this is to get young men into this school to teach them work ethic and actually train them on machines that we're bringing in from some of the international manufacturers that are there in San Pedro. And man, this does so many things in the community. The unemployment rate is ridiculous. So it gives young men hope. It gives them a future. It creates legacy. It keeps husbands and fathers in their homes. It stops girls from being trafficked because their father is present. Like so many things, bro, just by bringing that training into the community where there's such high crime and unemployment. So, and this is part of my, man, we did 8 trips last year international where we're building communities like this all over the world. So
When's your next trip? Your next trip is when? In June?
I'm going to Turkey in April at the end of the month. And then, that's already kind of getting to be a tricky situation. And then I've got Moldova, of all places, right next to Ukraine.
God, when are you doing that one?
So that's in October. So I'm really hoping things settle down in this whole war business, man. But we got refugees. There's already 150 to 200,000 refugees coming into Moldova.
I saw it last night on Fox. I was watching. It's heartbreaking what the hell's going on over there, man. They should really take Putin and just hang that fuck.
Yep, man. Just string them up in the street. I mean, that's what it takes. So,
but look, I love the fact that you're a giver, Matt. You have that personality. You actually do what you say what you're going to do. You come from passion. You come from the heart. And you and I don't know each other on a deep level. I'm hoping to get to know you a lot deeper after this podcast and moving forward. But just from what I do know about you, you're definitely a solid human being, brother. So now, with that being said, love the fact that you do what you do. I want to get into your background with real estate. So give us like a brief summary of, because I know you started off, I think, as a general contractor, and then you got into rehabbing, and then you developed software. So take us through that whole thing. Yeah,
man, I'll be quick. It's a story that's somewhat typical with, man, I made a big move in my life a while ago when I realized that, 4 kids into my young marriage at, 19 years old, we started, and realized I was a reflection point where I didn't have many of those times because it was always the hustle, right? That I was getting up and off to work, man, running my own business before any of my kids got out of bed for school, and I'm getting home after they're already back in bed. And man, that was just breaking my heart, man, killing me. So I made a move over to move from Minnesota to Wisconsin and take the only job I've ever had in my life, where I was going to be groomed to be the president of that company. And so we made a move, moved our young kids, and that was in 2007-ish, 8-ish, So we all know what happened then. I went back to general contracting and ended up visiting a Rehab, buying my first course. And, the rest is history as far as finding niches that were unfulfilled, like bringing all of my 25 years of general contracting experience to some software for estimating repairs. And since then, I've built, short sale business, a development company, a funding business. So all of these places that we kind of end up with different businesses that are all centric to real estate. That was my path that brought me to this place today.
And this has been, how many years you've been doing that now?
I've been really, I would say right around that 10-year mark as a full-time investor.
Yeah. And your focus, Matt, is fix and flip, buy and hold, building ground up, all the above?
Yeah, I'm a true, I'll never not have flip projects going, just because really with my background and the systems I have, I can do it in my sleep, kind of a thing. And so that keeps me credible, relevant, all of those things. And it's easy for me. And I like to bring that, to be able to show people, because there's so much fear around that, around jumping in. But so that fix and flip business will always be part of who I am, my identity in that, even though I don't, swing a hammer or visit a job site. Right. But, and now we're starting to build new, which is kicking doors open that's really new for me, because I'm now a developer and I've never done any developing. And so we've got quite a few projects underway now, which is really exciting.
Before we get into the Rehab Estimator Pro, just let's go into because I'm really interested, because we opened up a construction company about a year ago. So with your company you have now on the real estate investment side, do you have, obviously you're a general contractor, you have your license. Yep. Do you have your own team of people that are working for the contracting company, or do you paper contract and sub everything out?
So most, everything typically is built as a contractor with subcontractors, right? Most will never achieve. If you're going to run a construction business, well, then it does make sense. And you need to understand, just like you evaluate any property, you need to evaluate your business, because you're never going to stay in the middle and survive. Okay.
Right.
You either go big or you stay small with just subcontractors, because you're 1099ing them and you're losing all of that pay and Social Security. You got to look at payroll every week. So for me, it makes sense right now for us to have employees, and about, we probably have right around 90 to 100 subcontractors that,
wow.
Well, and the point of that is, look, I have 5 plumbers that know us well and that I can call. I have, how many excavation guys and sewer guys, and, that's, you just have to do that because of the times we're in with everybody being so busy.
Yeah.
You have to keep those relationships. But for us, it makes sense to have employees at this point. But for most, you better look at that. You better look at that real hard before you start adding payroll.
So take us through on the employee side, your core group. How many do you have, and then what's their roles in the business on your construction side?
Okay. Well, first, I think something that you can never neglect, before you're going to hire a framer full time, that that's who you would come in and have the guy that can do the pickup work. He can run crews. He can almost be a project manager / framer, maybe do some finished carpentry. If you don't have your office figured out, do not lie to yourself and think that you're going to run everything, okay, from your position as like you used a good word. I call them paper GCs, right?
Yep.
Like you're a briefcase contractor, okay? You're not out there doing the work, but you're running the show. If you don't have office management in place, and that could be one person, because that's all I have in the office. I do have several virtual assistants to assist, with project work. But if somebody's not running your office, doing the invoicing, the change orders, running all the vendors, because we operate mostly on a cost plus basis, so, we don't lose ever. In that space, if you think you're going to run your business and run your office and QuickBooks and everything else, you're lying to yourself. So you need to start there for your systems, your processes, your dailies, every day. And then you can start adding what we have as management in the field. Okay. So we have several employees that we can send anywhere we want, every day, and break them up and move them around, and we control where they go. Okay. So outside of that, we can bring in extra help, but that core is very small as far as employees go, and it works for us. Okay. So, but that took several years to build.
Are you so you're doing rehabs for yourself, but you're also doing retail work, is what I'm hearing?
So it's a very kind of a niche. We will select maybe 2 at the most per year that we will do. Like we do very well. I have a strong background in commercial, and so we'll do build outs for, like, we're doing a huge dental space right now. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
We're doing fire restoration where we gut to studs and rebuild in that space, because it's all cost plus insurance money. And it's also people that we want to work with, because I don't, being in the retail world is a very different game. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to go there unless you have experience in it. Okay.
Yeah. My girl, Nicole, who's my girlfriend, she's also my business partner on the construction side. She's going like full steam ahead on doing retail work. And I told her, I want nothing to do with it because it's not my thing. Like, I don't want to speak about, bathrooms and who scratched my wall, but she's been doing it now for about a year, Matt. And she's crushing it. High end shit. She's getting the bids in. She's orchestrating. But like you said, she has a back office that's supporting her with the paperwork. She has a really strong PM on the front end that's managing. So she's really just going in and designing and setting up. And then to your point, we're paper contracting everything. We had last year 5 or 6 employees, and I found that it was just full-time babysitting.
Correct.
So we went from that model over to hire the PMs, make sure we have our numbers dialed in, come up with a cost plus, and then just go to work. And it's working both on the rehab side and on the retail side.
That's great, man. That's a great model, and you learned it the hard way too, like everybody does.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out what
it's
works.
Tough. Yep. It's tough. It's probably, I've built multiple businesses, and by far the construction side of the business, to start that and grow it as a real construction company, not just as a project management type company. Correct. It was tough. Extremely difficult.
Yep. And you know what? She is really good, at what she does. I know that. And it's something that, as people understand the product that you're putting out, you earn the right to sit down with people and say, you know what? I don't think we're the right company for you. On some, you create that special niche, because you don't. She
just did that with this. Yeah, she just did that with somebody. She's just like, it's not for me. We're gonna have to pass on this one. So take me through on your rehab side. So you have, how many project managers do you have in your construction company?
So I have several. We have one main guy. So I have one guy that oversees everything, and he's also basically mirrors who I am in that space. Okay. But that's all he's ever done. And then under that, another, a guy that, we give company vehicle to, supply all the tools, that kind of thing, because he is a true employee as well, that used to run usually around 20 projects at a time, new construction back in the day. And finding these guys is key, because you either hire the best or you create the best, right?
Yep.
And so you don't have time to create the best in most spaces. So you need to hire the best and pay them well. And so that guy, he got completely burnt out. He doesn't want to run 20 job sites and run 100 subs under him as framers. He just wants somebody to tell him where to go and what to do every day, because he's in his, last phase. And that's a perfect guy that we put as second in command. And then we have 2 more guys that can fulfill that role, but they're also in the field, either framing or doing trim carpentry or running a project as well.
Got it. So they're like lead carpenters on site.
Correct.
Running exactly. Take me through like your process flow. You get a new deal that you're going to renovate on your rehab side of the business. Just take me through what your process is to get that property scoped out, materials ordered, measured, and then put into the pipeline to get started. Like, what does that look like on your end?
Yeah, no, man, that's a great question, because right now is a much trickier situation. So if you don't have a model down, don't take on more than one project, right now, if you're starting out, because I'll give you one. Just put under contract last week, and came in, 40,000 below even what they were asking, and they actually accepted it right away, just because of the creative ways that I also added to the offer, to say, hey, look, I know you're looking for a house, you want to get out. We're going to lease your house back to you for up to 6 months so you can find another one, and actually not sign a box that says contingency on it to sell your house because you've got an offer. So we're going to give you some perks here. But since then, now that we have that contract and we know we're moving forward to close, I already have to have my window guy go out there and order all the windows. Okay. The office manager's already putting together our purchase sheet, which on the front end, there's a closing. On the back end, there's a closing. In the meantime, you're filling up those folders on the front end. You need to get a dumpster on site. You need to get any permits you need going. You need to get all your materials that are going to be 12 to 14 to 16 weeks out. Okay.
Yeah. The lead time of materials is key.
Right. So that means we're already getting our flooring ordered. We're getting our, paint. Paint is a problem in areas, right?
No shit.
It's crazy. We got our paint order. We got our window order. So that my guys won't even see the house until they step foot in it the first day. Okay. And once
you have somebody going out there and doing measurements, like, is that your project manager or is it a different person in your business?
No, I'm not going to be responsible, nor is my staff going to be responsible to measure windows, because if he screws something up, it's on him. And so he has to go out and measure everything. Okay. So we'll put a lockbox on and put all of our subs in communication. So part of that process is dialing in which subs are going to be on the job, which ones need access to get into the house as far as a lockbox, and then making sure that, hey, like I said before, dumpster, utilities get switched over, any permits get pulled. First day we're on the job, we're in demo, and I got a list of framing materials coming from that PM so that the lumberyard can deliver that the next day. And so you're going through those systematic processes.
So you, through this whole process of you being a general contractor over the years, I know you came up with a tool, a really useful tool for guys that are in our business on the real estate investment side that aren't contractors, that don't know how to go out and do that side of the business. Talk about the Rehab Estimator Pro that you've created. When did you create it? Why did you create it? And what does it actually do?
Okay. Yeah, man, I love it. Thank you for bringing that. That's a great question, even of, why, because this was something that I created for myself, because one of my core businesses is short sale negotiations. And we've never stopped. That was the first course I ever bought. It's still that's what feeds our flip business. Those short sales still to this day. And I realized with these BPOs where you're meeting typically another fellow broker that in town, that is the bank is hiring to come in and give a dirty $50 appraisal, right? And I needed to that's the best way we can describe that. You remember back in the day, bro, when they would if you ever met these BPOs, dude, they would literally turn the camera on their phone and run through the house because they were doing 10 to 12 of them a day. Okay.
Yep. No time to breathe. No time to eat.
Dude, I remember I came in, there was this lady in there and she's carrying her baby in one arm with her phone in the other. And all she does is takes a picture of the address and then runs through the house, takes pictures and runs back out to her car. Okay.
Unbelievable.
Well, you need to put something in their hand that says, hey, by the way, here's the comps I came up with to justify my offer. And here's my scope of repairs. Okay. That need and this is a full scope with itemized pricing on it. And I needed to come up with that fast. Okay. Any house you walk through, I need to get a quote that is legitimate, that is a takedown number that I can trust and everybody else can trust, of all the repairs that are itemized correctly. And we can literally make an offer based on this software right out of the gate. Because, and that was why it was created, was because of that short sale business. But then people started hearing about it, and that's when I just went national with it. But real quick, this more than anybody. I mean, this is such an easy platform to teach on, but there's such a hole in the business still.
Yeah.
You have two things you can never screw up in any deal. Okay. There's all kinds of things that are happening, right? But if you screw up your comps, your ARV, as we refer to it, or you screw up your repair costs, your deal goes down fast, right?
Fast. Those are two of the key drivers. And a lot of guys overestimate the value and underestimate what the rehab cost is going to be. And they come in losing $10,000, $15,000, $30,000.
Yep.
It's a pain in the ass.
You can't do it. So we have one platform that we use that we trust nationally. Any bank, or, you know, if you're going for a refi, you're going for a purchase, the MLS is the only standard by which appraisals are done and comps are created, right? We can throw in all kinds of other stuff like, you know, but, you know, the appraiser, the bank is not going to accept Redfin or Zillow or any of that stuff, right? It's MLS. So you can teach anybody how to do that in a weekend course, right? How do you relate repair costs then when all you've done is you've sat through some seminar or you've gone, you know, to some boot camp? How are you going to teach somebody repair costs that they have no fear about submitting, getting a contract, and then putting people into place to get it done for that amount? There's no basis. There's no standard in the industry. And so that's what we've created, is something that everyone can trust, just like the MLS. We have lenders now all over the country that are saying, sorry, if you're not using REP, I'm not going to trust your numbers that are coming in, because that's the basis.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
let's dive in a little bit deeper now. So this software, obviously it's for rehabbers trying to get their numbers dialed in. How does the system work if there's so many different variables on cost per foot? Each contractor charge is different. Like, how do you come up with numbers that are going to be working in California versus Wisconsin versus New York versus, you know, bumfuck Idaho? I mean, you know, everybody has their own numbers. Like, how does that work?
So this is what I've discovered, man, because this is the number one objection that comes up that you've come up with on your own, because you and I didn't talk about this before. So love it. So this is what I've found traveling all over the country and being a part of many mastermind groups. I think you and I first met. We didn't really, you know, touch base too much with, I think it was speaker training with Sean. And
oh my God, that's right. Holy shit, that's right. Totally forgot about that one.
That was So that's when I was like, oh man, I need to know this guy more. Like, this is a great guy.
Yes, holy shit. Remember, that was like 3-4 years ago.
Yep, that was great, man. I think
maybe 5 years ago.
I was counting the F-bombs in the first statement you ever made. I was like, oh yeah, I need to hang out with this guy. This guy's gonna be fun. All right, so
man, I'm known for the F-bombs.
I love it, man. So it's but so the first thing that comes in, I have discovered by dealing, you know, going to job sites and talking to investors all over the country, this is what it comes down to. We all have extremely similar numbers, okay, across the country. Like, it is unbelievable. And what I discovered, I look at it this way. Look, a can of paint in San Diego is the same. Technically, let's not deal with the taxes right now in California, but a can of paint, if it's $40-$50 at Lowe's in San Diego, and then I come to you know, Idaho, right? It's the same cost, and I'm not paying my painter $40,000 a year in Idaho and $150,000 a year in California. We're paying them technically the same amount. It's just we're building a 10,000 square foot, you know, on a rehab side versus a 1,500 square foot. Right?
Got it.
So the houses differ, but it is so it's the numbers are so close that we use and now again, remember, this is a takedown number. Okay. I can't go pay $75,000 for paint on a house. Nobody can ever make that deal work. So we use numbers that we know that we have to give to our subs to say, this is what you need to do it for. Right.
Got it.
And that's that takedown number. Now, I do have multipliers for every place in the country, but I don't want you messing with those numbers yet and hitting that multiplier until you test the system to see if it works in your area and how you just need to tweak it a little bit. So it's social proof all over the country, man, that it works. That's right amazing. Out of the box. Yeah.
That's amazing, bro. So walk me through. Are they going to utilize your software on site, or are they going to take measurements on site and then go back to the office and plug the numbers in at the office with the rehab estimator? What does that look like?
And great question, because this is the goal of it. Okay. You just mentioned measure. Okay. The software is designed as a checkbox system. based on the input that comes automatically, because we pay for the data up the front. On the front end, we actually do run comps and pull your property from county data. Okay. And then once that square footage and everything is in there, it's a checkbox system. I designed the system so that you could send your office manager to the site, okay, and check the boxes of what needs to be done based on a visual that you're seeing. Don't look over this. Here's your checklist. Make sure you do exterior, interior, and mechanicals, okay? Check the boxes, and you automatically have a number. Now, the beauty of it is what you said earlier. When I bring I have a tablet, iPad in this case, with a pen. When I bring this, okay, into a seller appointment and I'm actually using it in front of them, it is an unbelievable tool, man, because I'll ask right away, hey, it's totally fine for you to answer this because I know the game. How many other investors have you had out here looking at this property? Okay, 3. Great. Let me guess. You haven't even received offers from 2 of them because they never even got back to you. And let me guess. The other guy came in with some stupid yellow pad and started writing things down and gave you a number, right? Well, I use software that tells me exactly where I have to be at on this house, and these numbers don't lie. Everything I've done has been put into this software, and so I'm giving you something that's real time, and I'm using it in front of you. And what happens? They actually end up. I put the tool in their hand with the pen, and they start checking the boxes, and they start filling out their own repair list, bro.
Oh my God.
So
that's insane.
They can't deny it. They come to the
Right.
table and they're like, you're right. It is going to take $57,000 to fix this house up. I thought I could do it for 20, but you're right. You have the system that tells me this is what it's going to take. So
that's unreal. So you're basically saying you could take this, give it to your acquisitions manager who has absolutely zero idea of renovating.
Yep.
Check a few boxes, then take that, compare it to what you actually bids are. If you have to do adjustments, because you said there's an adjustment area, a multiplier.
Yep.
And then that's it. You're off to the races running.
That's it. It's also going to spit out an offer with those numbers. So you're going to have a cash offer right there if your acquisition manager is trained to sit there and not leave without a contract. Okay. So instead of the guy who says, let me go work the numbers and I'll get back to you. You're actually at the kitchen table, because here's another thing, man. Nobody else is doing this in the business. So tell me, how many people will actually do this? Very few. I carry a wireless and Bluetooth printer with me in my backpack.
No shit. You print everything right there. It's smart.
Dude, I'm in the kitchen and I'm already printing documents on the kitchen table for them to sign. Okay.
Smart, bro.
Dude, you there's no reason to leave without. You know what I mean?
What is some of the other like benefits or like things, tools inside this system that it does? So it calculates the repair cost. It does the offer generator. Is it a 3 offer generator? Like there's some of the tools out there. It's like, here's the cash. Here's the subject to. It does that.
It does that too. So, and we're enhancing that all the time. So it is going to give you, seller finance offers. It also has a full rental calculation section in it. It also, if you train your people, if you have a bunch of agents under your team, it'll actually give them a net sheet as well to say, hey, well, if you're going to hire an agent, look how close we're going to come to the actual number with a cash offer.
I love this.
Okay?
Love it.
So now those are for more advanced users that get to know the system. But here's another beautiful point, because I'm glad you asked that question, because we have all of these things. The core of it is such an awesome tool, but then it has all these other things like a rental calculator as well.
Mm-hmm.
It will say you check the box for interior painting. Okay. Now that's going to cover everything, but it's going to print out this in huge scope of work. It's going to detail about a paragraph long what that paint includes. Okay. Exactly your scope of work will be completely printed out right there in the scope. So you're actually
that you can give to your contractors.
You hand it right to your contractor, and it'll take all the numbers right off. So now you have
You're making it so easy, bro. You're making it too easy.
Yes, because that's the fear I found. I found that so many people will sit there and spin for a year. Well, I got comps down, man. I've nailed it, but I'm so scared to deliver that offer because what if my repair costs are wrong? Okay. We got to eliminate the fear.
Walk me through, because there's different levels of rehab. And I'm not talking about the level of work that you're going to do like a high end. I'm talking about a full blown renovation, full gut, a medium gut, a lipstick. how do you calculate that in your rehab costs? Because like I know my guys, we have a lot of houses, probably 50% or greater, where it's a full gut renovation because we're dealing with like shitholes that haven't been worked on in 50 years. There's cat piss all over the place and garbage in the house. And then you have the other end of the spectrum where the houses are just dated, but they have great bones. And so how does your rehab analyzer, what is the data inputs? Do you have data inputs that will take those 3, 4, 5, 6 different situations and allow the user to say, okay, this is a full gut, this is a lipstick? Take me through that.
Yep. So if you're gonna, this is how I kind of explain from going from, look, man, if we're coming into a house, because these are happening right now, especially with the amount of short sales or pre-foreclosures that are happening. If you come in and you don't need to do paint or flooring, well, then you just need to stick a sign in the yard, right, and put it back up on the market. So as a minimum, when you're coming in, there's a full 1-page list of exterior, full 1-page list of interior, and a full 1-page list of mechanicals. There's a huge section in the back end that is going to require you to put in measurements and linear footage, square footage, but I don't want new users to touch that yet. So if you're coming in and just going, look, we're going to clean up the landscaping quick on the outside, we're going to hit the paint, the flooring, and we're going to stage it. Okay, you can just click those buttons and you're done. On the other extreme, if you're coming in, we do have a full gut button that you just hit, and that's a number that you need to know to compare as a whole, because it's going to give you one big number, okay, and it's going to include everything, including the exterior. So, got it. So we don't have anything that's a quick like, hey, here's lipstick, hit this button. No, click the right buttons: paint, flooring, throw a new exterior door on, and done. But that full gut button, I'll warn people this way: you have the experience to do that. I have the experience to do that. Don't kid yourself. Again, quit lying to yourself. If you think you're going to get in and out of a house for less than 75 to 100 grand on a full gut, okay?
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
At all.
Yep. If you lie to yourself and say, I could value engineer this and get it done for 50 grand, you've already lost.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Nope. And especially with the price. Look at my electrician alone. I have to use several electricians right now because of, based on availability and such. We did a full gut last year, and my electrical was about 13.8. It just came in this year at 27,000 for the house.
What?
Yes.
Yep. Holy! How many square foot is the house?
It was a big house. It's over 3,000 square feet. But the fact of the matter remains that when you're getting into a gut to stud situation and it's all new material, this is not the same as an electrician coming in and replacing your fixtures, your outlets, your switches to white Decora or whatever. This is somebody coming in and running new wire that has gone way, way up. Okay.
Yeah. It's I know our costs, our full guts, we're trying to stay away from as many full guts as possible for that one reason.
Same here.
Costs just out of control.
Yep. Same here.
I'd rather wholesale the full guts, let somebody else handle it. Yep. The ones where it's a medium rehab or a lipstick or, just to make it look pretty, we're killing those right now. But the full guts, man, we're making money on them, but our margins are a whole hell of a lot tighter. Even with the discounts we're buying at, it's still very tight.
It is very tight. And look at your opportunity cost too, because you're going to tie yourself up for 6 months with those projects versus we're able to turn things in 3 months with just coming in and doing a light rehab and doing a whole tail or whatever you want to call it, putting it back on the market because there's no inventory still.
There's no inventory, man. We have right now, I'm just looking at we use Build a Trend to run our projects. We have 62 that are in one phase or another on the rehab side. So they're either being scoped out, permitted, full blown in the construction side or punch list.
Yep.
Yes, 62. And that includes 10 of them are retail. So it's really 52.
Yep. No, man. You are running a huge business on that. And you have to use software like Builder Trend. Co-Construct is another one that Builder Trend purchased. So they're sister companies and there's, Co-Construct is a little more affordable. Builder Trend is for a guy that, like us, that you're running full-blown project management and you have to see a Gantt chart of what trade is where and who's coming up next.
It was a game changer for us. We were running everything off Excel spreadsheets and Google Docs and it worked, but it was overwhelming trying to have everything in one area and who wasn't updating and who missed something. And this build a trend, we started it a year and a half ago, and it's been a freaking game changer for us. More streamlined, and we're not even touching the surface yet. Like we have a construction coach that we hired from California who's I'm paying them an arm and a leg. It's 60 grand a year, like not a small investment. And we meet with them every other Thursday, and we just constantly work on the construction side of the business, streamlining, setting up the templates. We're getting into a point now where it's literally point and click. We don't have the construction cost piece. Like I think your software for our guys in the field is going to be key. So I'm definitely going to become a client after this phone call. Let me ask. I don't want to bounce back and forth. I get like ADD and I go all over the place.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that.
but getting on your software. So do you pay per seat? Is it per company? What does the licensing look like for your software?
So man, it is the most affordable piece. Basically, what I call a tool in your belt. You've got to have certain tools in your belt in order to run this business, right? So whether or not it's a strategy on the front end, like a lease option or a subject to or a cash offer, those are all tools in your belt, right? Well, it's the same thing when it comes into like software, like Builder Trend, REP, different prop stream, different things that you're running. You have to be able to do this. So for people that are affiliated with us that say, hey, I want to give this to people, we can get it down from, you'll see $50 a month online down to $30, and that's unlimited properties, man. So we can get your users down to $30 a month, which again, if you can't afford $30 a month, you shouldn't be in this business. Right.
Right. And is that $30 per seat? Like if I have 5 acquisition managers, is it each one going to have their own?
No, we do have it depends on how you want to run your business. So we do have a more advanced platform that you have to talk to me about because we build it for you, where say you've got your 5 acquisition guys and you don't want them to see each other's deals they're working on, but you need to be able to see everything. We'll do that up to 10 users for $99 a month. And then you can they're all separate so they don't see each other. Otherwise, if you just did the $30 a month and you didn't care who saw what, you can give it all to them and you can load as many properties as you want. It's just that everybody will see everybody's properties.
Yeah, which I don't mind because we're working on Podio for now until we switch over to Salesforce and everybody has access to everybody else's shit. So, it makes it more competitive too. Everybody sees what the hell the other guy is doing. They see what the numbers are. And it's like, what the hell? This guy has 8 deals this month. I got 2.
Yeah.
I get my ass in gear,
Yep. No,
good
that's
stuff,
great.
Matt. Yeah, this is good stuff. So I know we're going to be putting the link to Rehab Estimator Pro on our website, billyalvaro.com and billysecrets.com. If anybody wants to get access to this, I mean, look, dude, it's $30 to $50 a month. It's extremely affordable. I think you're underpricing, to be honest with you. I mean,
I am. I am. Yeah. I want everybody to use it, man. That's the goal. So,
it's going to be a good thing. So after this, I want you to send me a link so I can get myself signed up. I'm going to send it over to Adrian, get her to sign us up. I'm going to get one of the guys in the field to start training. Maybe one of my New Jersey guys. I'm going to do a whole video on a podcast on after I use your software for like 90 days. What my feedback is like. Here's the good. Great. Here's where it needs to be tweaked. Here's where we're killing it. Here's where, Matt, I need help. What does this mean? Type of thing. But we'll definitely get to leverage it, bro. You've been you've offered a ton of information. How do people find you online? I know you're not really an internet guy with Facebook and shit. I know you've cut yourself off. I read that in your information that you sent over. But how do they find you?
So simple is MatthewHedstrom.com. And it'll just show basically kind of a link tree to everything that I have to offer. We have a private funding academy to teach people how to find private money. We have a funding group as well. We have the short sale business. So that kind of stuff, you can find me MatthewHedstrom.com and shoot me an email off of contact us. And man, I love setting up calls. A lot of people get sparked because of the service work we do all over the world, and a lot of people will call and just ask about that. Because they want to either get on a trip, we make it easy, or they want to learn more about the software, or even how to run a business where I'm gone 3 to 4 months out of the year. As a combined, how do you successfully run businesses that way?
It's amazing, isn't it? Like when you have your stuff dialed in, where you can just pick up and go, and your business runs.
Look, you're in Puerto Rico for what, a month? right
a
now?
month. Yeah,
Yeah.
just hanging out.
Yeah. How do you do that? Your businesses are still running, right?
Of course, all
Right.
of them across the board.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good stuff, bro. Listen, I appreciate you. I'm really looking to get to know you on a deeper level, brother. You are a special human being, and I love the fact on how much you give back to people that really need it. Thank you for coming on, bro.
You got it, man. I really appreciate you having me. This is great.
Thanks, bro.
All right, man. Peace.